Hey guys, Casey here, and I enjoyed doing the commentary on Pokemon the first movie so much, I decided to do another one with one of my personal favorite reviews. I'm so proud of this one, and I love the reception I got on it, but we'll get to that towards the end. Right now, let's go over the opening, because some people might have been confused, especially if you don't watch my My Little Pony reviews. That's my OC, my pony Sona, if you will. Just something to cut to during my My Little Pony reviews. But I usually leave her out of the non My Little Pony reviews because, ponies make some people uncomfortable and that's fine. But with this, I needed a special opening. I couldn't just say, "Hi, welcome to Let's Talk About," no. The only exception to keeping my OC out of non My Little Pony reviews is the Gravity Falls video before this. Escape from Reality, which is right here. Actually, there's a screenshot. And I am a bit upset about the fact that Mabel's deal had nothing to do with in the end, but I'm over it. I'm fine. I know some people wanted Mabel to have more repercussions for what happened, but I'm not a huge fan of playing the blame game. I know a lot of other people are. But once we got through all the events of Weird Mageddon, I didn't care. Mabel was being proactive. She was trying to stop what she kind of helped created, but everyone played a part. Don't deny it. You know it's true. Everyone played a part in what happens here. And Mabel was just the most recent person to play a part in it. So she's proactive, she tries to stop Bill, and in my mind, that's what matters. That's what's important. You stop blaming yourself or blaming someone else, and you take action. That's what Dipper and Mabel do here, and that's what counts. I should point out here that there was actually a deleted scene in this segment here where I'm talking about the Shacktron, I think it's called. When I was talking about how awesome it was, I was going to mention how it makes its entrance, how the T-Rex head just bashes into the side of the pyramid, and I was going to play the clip, and it was going to play that, the mother effin' T-Rex theme, that from the Nostalgia Critics Jurassic Park reviews. I thought that would have been so funny. I even had it in the video for a while, but, frankly, having one of my reaction videos taken down, kind of scared me. And again, I was getting so happy with how this review came out, I decided, you know what, it's 2 seconds, leave it, even though, in hindsight, now that I know what the problem was, it probably wouldn't have created any trouble, the video probably would have stayed up, but at the time I was a bit too scared, and I decided to leave it out. Oh, jeez. Oh, Stan and Ford. What the fandom thinks of you. This was honestly the hardest part to write because there was discussion after this episode came out, mostly praise, and rightfully so, but the toughest part was talking about this first half because mostly anything anybody was talking about was after Stan and Ford were trapped, and then Stan sacrifices himself. But no one was talking about, well, at least, yeah, apparently this was a preview clip when the episode came out. I didn't watch the preview clip because I am a good, honest viewer, and I couldn't find it. So, but no one was talking about, how Stan was acting and how Ford was so absorbed in just stopping this and not really thinking about the family, in all honesty. He doesn't not care about them. I want to make that clear. But Ford is so focused and so determined to stop what he believes he started that everything else is just background noise. And Stan is so self-absorbed in everything that's been, the world just pissing on him for 40 plus years that this is it. He just snaps. This is a really bad time to do that. And this was the hardest part because no one was talking about that. Everyone was focusing on the big happy moments, which is fair. That's all. That was like one of the first things I wrote about, with how happy I was about everything. But the conflicts with Stan and Ford take up like the whole first part and a decent portion of part 2, so I knew I had to talk about it.
But keep in mind that if he hadn't stopped Stan from destroying the journal, none of this would.
Yeah, no one brings that up.
I've said it before, and I'll say it as many times as necessary.
Like, people, but nobody blames Stan. Like, until like he wouldn't rescue Ford from the pyramid, no one blamed Stan for anything post Tale of Two Stans. And a lot of people either blamed Ford for everything or were at his defense, like me, and were just saying like, hey, these are human characters, and guess what, people? Humans make mistakes. No one's perfect. Especially these two.
Now, a lot of people were expecting some kind of falling out between Stan and Ford.
But there was a lot to talk about here, and it was the thing most people were talking about, and like I said, I got wonderful reception from this video. I got all sorts of discussion, I got all sorts of comments, both here and on Tumblr, and it was so amazing, and I'm always so thankful, and I really mean this, I know people hear this all the time, but I am so thankful when someone shares one of my videos with something so nice, and there's a couple of people out there who have been extra supportive, who I'm even more thankful for. I won't say who specifically, just in case they don't want to be mentioned by name, but chances are you know who you are. I will mention Marvel and Ponder though, because I've mentioned her in videos before, and we talked for hours about this finale, and it was while I was writing the script. So that was really good for me, and it's probably why I got this review out so fast. Like, it only took a week. Usually it takes like 2 weeks for me to get a review this big and important out. But because of all of those conversations and like bouncing off my ideas of the episode on her and her bouncing her ideas of the episode on me, it was very helpful, and it was a great way to get the gears moving on how to properly express how I felt about this wonderful episode. And there were also a few jokes. Back when I called the Shacktron a continuity mech, that was her line, and when she typed that, I laughed so hard, and I was like, oh my god, that's hilarious, please, can I use that? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. So, thank you, Marvel and Ponder, you were a great help. And so are the select others who are big supporters of my stuff, and it's so great. I'm sorry if I went on a bit too long about that. This is probably the most important part of the review, but I just had to. I couldn't help it. But I'm gonna gush over the people who like my things.
And why taking care of Dipper and Mabel changed him so much.
Yes, Stan. I guess it's hard for. I think it's hard for people to remember ever since Not What He Seems came out, but Stan wasn't always like this. He was greedy, he was selfish, he was condescending, even to the kids, which you wouldn't dream of him doing now.
That face, that tone.
And it's such a believable character change, and okay, that's one of my most favorite pictures I've ever drawn of a pony, ever. I love that picture so much, it's so funny. And I think that was the first joke written in, like, there, Stan gets his hug. Are you people happy? Because that's all anybody wanted. They just wanted them to hug it out, as Mabel says. And they got it in the worst way possible. You know what? Let's take a second to address this. Let's take a second to address that some people weren't fond of how quickly Stan got his memories back. And I don't agree. I honestly don't. Again, it's fun to speculate. There's tons of cool, like, fan fictions. And Gravity Falls is probably the only fandom that I've read tons and tons of fan fiction. Seriously, it's getting a bit too much. Anyway, Uh, it's a great thing to speculate on, but I wouldn't have been as happy with this ending if Stan didn't remember them. I don't think that's fair. I think people just wanted it to be, like, edgy for a Disney Channel show. Like, forget that. Take the Big Mouse name off of this and focus on Gravity Falls itself. As Hirsch says, and this is right, if you look at this from a storytelling perspective, that tearful farewell at the end of summer wouldn't have meant anything if Stan didn't remember them. This wouldn't have meant anything if Stan didn't remember them. And did you not want that? Look at this and tell me you did not want to see that. I did. And it's just so wonderful. I don't think it's a cop-out. I think you feel everything you're supposed to in every minute of this episode. I could go on and on and on about how wonderful it is and how wonderful the show is. And I probably will. Like I said, this is not the last time we'll be talking about Gravity Falls on the channel. I actually have an idea for what's next in the Gravity Falls discussion, but that'll probably wait until, like, the end of the summer, because I've got some big videos for the summer, and that's going to take up most of my time. But trust me, we will come back to Gravity Falls, because there is still a lot I have to say about this show. It's just so amazing to me. I like I said, I've never been this satisfied with a show before. Wonderful storytelling and the complexities and overall journeys of its characters. Yeah, we'll have a video by the end of summer, that I can promise you. And yeah, Community used to be my favorite show, and I even like the much maligned seasons 4 through 6, although season 3 is my favorite, but Community used to be my favorite show, but sorry, Gravity Falls is the new favorite. While Gravity Falls may be over, See? I told you. And trust me, like, end of summer, or maybe we'll do, like, a first impressions when the journal comes out. I'm really excited for that journal. I'm gonna be pre-ordering that soon, I can assure you. And there's the segue into Pokemon the first movie, and I kind of shot myself in the foot with it, because if you saw that commentary, you know, that's when my computer gave out. Like, I'm not kidding, like, 5 minutes after I uploaded this video, my computer just broke beyond beyond usability. But I'm back, and this review was so insanely well received. You're probably seeing black now, but I don't care, because I'm gonna say Gravity Falls is my favorite show, and thank you all so much for being so supportive on the Gravity Falls videos, and for sticking around now that there's not as much Gravity Falls content. Thank you all again, and hopefully maybe we'll do commentaries again. See ya.